The Trump administration has just been sued in federal court over a sweeping new visa ban that blocks approvals and green cards from 75 countries. The plaintiffs are not abstractions. They are real people. First, a U.S. citizen from Long Island separated from his wife and newborn daughter. His wife was denied her immigrant visa, that's her lawful residence, at the interview, and their infant daughter, who has Turner syndrome, is now stuck abroad without access to proper medical care, all because of this ban. Second, a U.S. citizen in Rochester separated from his 2 teenage children, even though those visas were approved and fully paid for. And had those children entered the United States with those visas, they would become automatic U.S. citizens. Third, a Colombian doctor and endocrinologist who was supposed to continue cancer research at Harvard Medical School, now barred from entering the United States with his lawful permanent residence. These are legal immigrant visa cases, not illegal border crossings. And the government claims this ban is about public charge, meaning concern that immigrants will rely on welfare. In 2019, the Trump administration tried to radically expand the public charge rule to include benefits like Medicaid and food stamps. 5 different federal courts blocked it because the rule was found unlawful. Congress has never authorized blanket bans, wealth tests, or nationality-based assumptions about who may need welfare. That is why this ban is legally different from the Muslim ban. The Muslim ban was framed as national security, but this one is framed as economics, and it's still based on where you're from, what you look like, and not individually based. And take a look at the list. More than 85% of the banned countries are non-European, non-white. So is this really about welfare, or is this ethnic profiling disguised as policy, disguised to choke off legal immigration from countries that don't fit a preferred image?
Hey everyone, welcome back to Asila Reactions. Today we are reacting to some heavy news. Reports are coming out that the US government is pausing visas for a dozen of countries, including Jamaica and other CARICOM nations, starting January 21st, 2026. I will break down what is actually happening and what this means for the affected families. But before we dive in, big thanks to the creators of these videos that I will be reacting to. All credit goes to them. Watch this video until the end, then I'll come back with more reactions.
The 75 country visa pause. Let's talk about the latest that we know. Number one thing to know is that it is not a ban on all the countries. Just because you are on that visa pause, it does not mean that you can't get a visa. Now, there are some countries that are banned, for example, Afghanistan, but for other countries, let's say Pakistan, you can still get a visa and come to the United States. It's just going to be paused for a period of time. Okay, number 2, what does that mean in terms of the I-130 processing or other petitions? You can still file an I-130. Some people called me and said, what's the point? I can't even bring my wife here. It doesn't mean that you can't start a case. So file your I-130, file everything else that you need to start your case. Even if your wife's in Pakistan or another country, start the case, including Afghanistan. Yes, that's right. You can still file an I-130 for your wife in Afghanistan or other countries like Nigeria or Ghana. It doesn't matter. You can still do it. All right, guys. Number 3, the visa adjudications overseas may be affected, but the adjustment of status for many of these countries will not be affected. What does that mean? I-485s for clients, we're getting green cards for them, okay? If you're Pakistani, if you're, one of the countries that is on the visa pause but isn't banned, you can still do that, all right? That's really important, okay? Now, number 4, this is something that many people don't realize. Just because you have a visa pause or you have an interview and they place you into administrative processing doesn't mean that eventually that you will be able to get a visa, okay? So even if you got some sort of administrative processing 221G notice, let's say you're Pakistani or you're from another country that's on that pause list, including Russia and a couple other big countries as well, like Brazil, you can still get that visa adjudicated later at a date. I do this a lot. I do these mandamus lawsuits, okay? So that's number 4. Number 5, again, I'm going to say this. This does not affect, non-immigrant visas. F1 students, other visit visas, they're still coming to the United States. Even if you're from a country like Pakistan or Russia and so forth, you can't get an immigrant visa. You can still get an F1 visa. You're from Brazil, you can still get a visit visa. You can still do that, even from the DR and so forth. All right, guys? So don't give up hope. Don't create misinformation or spread false information, whether it's WhatsApp or listening to messages online, guys. Those are the things you need to know. All right? Good luck to everybody.
Jamaica listed among 75 countries that's facing an indefinite U.S. immigrant visa pause. What does this mean if you're in the U.S. or outside of the U.S. and you're going through the immigration process? If you're currently in the U.S., based on the information that was released, this will not affect you. This is solely affecting persons that's going through U.S. Department of State or NVC, or if you're what we call consular processing. If you're in the U.S. and you're doing adjustment of status based on the information that's currently out, that will not affect you. This is affecting a very specific group, and this is for family members of U.S. citizens and green card holders who are overseas trying to get their green card to migrate to the U.S. The reason for this is they're saying that they're trying to avoid public charge on persons coming here to depend on the U.S. government. So that's one of the reasons why it triggers this whole thing, and also what took place in Washington, D.C. It's all being triggered from that. Okay, so if you currently have, because for me, I have at least 8 clients as of right now who is already scheduled for interview, start between next week. I had clients that went yesterday, thank God they got through. I have clients who will go before the 21st, but I do also have clients who is going after the 21st. Everything is new, everything is fresh. We have not received any correspondence from U.S. Department of State to see if these interviews will still go forward, if they'll be granted the visa, or they'll attend the interview, but not until the pause is lifted before these visas will be granted. We have no answers for these questions as yet. My head is spinning since I saw the news, because Jamaica has never been listed among any of these countries. I hope it does not go beyond this. Honestly, I really hope it does not affect Jamaicans within the US or most of the Caribbean countries like Belize, and you have other Colombia, Barbados. Like, those countries have never ever been on any sort of ban or anything like that. So it's really shocking. Like, it's a blow to us, to be honest. I really hope it does not go beyond this for us, and my heart goes out to each and every country, everyone from every country that's on this list, not necessarily only Jamaicans, but again, I'm Jamaican, so I am really addressing the Jamaican diaspora. This is a blow for us, to be honest.
Trump administration halts all visa processing. So I wanted to know if Jamaica is on that official list for travel ban. The article says right now Jamaican nationals are not subject to formal travel ban like some other countries, example Haiti or Cuba. The U.S. government's proclamations list specific countries whose countries cannot get visas or enter the U.S. on most categories of visas, and Jamaica was not directly included on those earlier lists. It goes on to say Jamaica is affected by a recent visa policy change that is different from a traditional travel ban. It goes on to say visa processing for Jamaicans have been suspended, but only for certain visas. It directly affects people who want to permanently live in the U.S. Examples of that would be family-based immigration visas, parents, spouses, siblings of U.S. citizens, employment-based immigrant visas, and green card through work. So what does this mean? This pause means no new immigrant visas will be issued to Jamaicans until further notice, while the U.S. reassesses procedures and eligibility. So that means this is not a blanket ban on all visas. It's only specifically pausing immigrant visas. Non-immigrant visas, tourist students, temporary workers, that's the B2 tourists, and the B1 visas still being processed normally. Jamaicans can still apply and receive these visas unless there's an individual denial due to eligibility issues. Student visas is also still available under the current policy. The current suspension does not apply to non-immigrant visas, so travel for tourism and study, short business trips, or events like World Cup in the US is still possible. It says what could make visa processing harder? There's going to be a heightened scrutiny because there's concerns about visa overstays or misuses. Of course, there's going to be long wait times due to this. So that means that the interview is going to take way longer. And you're going to be required to show more documentation that you're going to come back home. Like say you're going to have a job or you're going to have family if you come back to, them kind of things there. So this does not mean that Jamaicans cannot get visas. It just means that the process is going to be stricter for some applicants. So if you already have a visa or a permanent resident card, then nothing is going to change for you.
Honestly, this is rough to see. There are people who I know who have been waiting to be reunited with their families. And the wait is going to be even longer now. May I talk people will wait 10, 9, 11 years. Me tell them already, say 18 years me wait. And I'm not the only person who has waited that long. So imagine now, where you don't even know how long this is going to take, how long this pause is going to be. So this only affects people who are on filing. It's about immigrant visas. So people who are trying to get tourist visas, you can still get that. The thing is, people who are on filing, it's hard for you to get a tourist visa because how you going to show ties to Jamaica, how you going to prove, say, you plan to come back to Jamaica when you're already saying to them that you plan to live in the US. That's what you want to do. So they hardly give tourist visas to people who are on filing. This just made a ball. Me barely make it by the skin of my teeth a couple months ago. I know.
Hi everybody, just wanted to give you this update as this news is just coming in and it will affect us here in Jamaica. The US State Department, they have announced the pause of visa processing from 75 countries, including Jamaica. As a matter of fact, all of the CARICOM countries except for Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago will be affected by this freeze. The department memo was first reported by Fox News and a US official has confirmed the countries listed by Fox, 75 countries, all CARICOM countries except for Guyana and Trinidad, which means Jamaica, we are on that list. Other countries on the list would include countries that already had little chance of getting a visa like Afghanistan, Iran, Russia, and Somalia, but then it comes as a shock to countries like Brazil. Now, the department did not immediately clarify if non-immigrant visas, and that's visas for tourism and business, would be affected. So we're trying to get clarification on that to see whether persons who are seeking a non-immigrant visa for tourism or business, if they'll be affected. But for immigrant visas, Jamaica will definitely be affected by this pause. Now, the pause goes into effect on January 21. Of course, Radio Jamaica News is going to give you all the deets, and when I have that additional information, I'll post another video to give you that update. Okay, until then, my dear.
So the U.S. administration suspended U.S. processing for immigrant visas for 75 countries, including Jamaica. What does that mean? Let's get into the video. Now, according to the Gleaner article, and I'm reading verbatim, the United States said that it is suspending a lot of immigrant visas application from 75 countries, Jamaica included. Now, the United States has long rejected visas from people who appear to likely end up needing government welfare. Now, the Trump administration is bringing about an end in the abuse of the America's immigration system for those who would extract wealth from the American people. Immigrant visa processing from these 75 countries will be paused while the State Department reassesses immigrant processing procedures to prevent the entry of foreign nationals who would take up welfare and public benefits. Now, basically, that's the reason why they must put it on pause. Because then the persons who apply for immigrant visas ended up coming to the country and live off of the government, go state welfare and benefits. Now, if you have been paying attention and you have not been living under a rock, there's now a saga and a scenario that's going on now in Minnesota with, the Somalian immigrants. Turns out that a lot of Somalians committed fraud under the government and them collect money under the false pretense. A lot of Somalians open daycare center and them collect from the government to operate those daycare center, but they are not taking care of any children. Them have the building now and them collect government funding to operate those buildings, and ergo as a result them live off of the government benefits. Because of that scenario, the good have to suffer with the bad. And that's why the US administration say they must suspend the processing of immigrant visas until further notice. This is only for persons who are seeking to live or reside in the United States. It is not for non-immigrant visas for persons who are go and come from, who are leave to go America and come back to them country. So processing of those visas will still continue. I hope this video clear up any confusion where anybody might add about this.
Hey guys, so I'm here to provide some clarity because the news broke this morning and some of it is partially true and some is not. So everywhere there have been posted that US has suspended visas from 75 countries and Jamaica is one of them. They have not suspended visas, they've suspended immigrant visa applications. Immigrant visas means that you plan to live in the US. So these visas are such as fiancé visa and permanent residency visas, not tourist visa and not business visa. So if you have an interview for a regular tourist visa, you can proceed as usual. Yes, we don't want to hear this news, of course, because people want to immigrate to the US for whatever reason, to live with their family or their spouse or their children, or people are applying for their children to come and live with them. So I just want to clarify, it is immigrant visas only, not all visas, because there's a lot of partial or misinformation going around. So if you plan to apply for a regular visitor's visa, you can proceed as usual.
Yo, I just wake up. People wanna see what I go on. People wanna see what happen. Jamaica just get added to the list of countries where get banned. Wanna know what that mean? But just what I say to myself, say, yo, Jamaica lucky, cause Jamaica nah get no ban and rare, Pussy clot, there in idea. Uncle Donald chew Jamaica on the list. So you see, people can't get visiting visa, But you see, if you're married to somebody, and you not get no date for them yet, them can't come until the ban. They only fi ban, And the ban is indefinite. Pussy clot. You wicked. So you see, if you get a date already, kudos to you. If not, ladies and gentlemen, if you not have a spouse at Jamaica, I want to know, say, you don't do a file for them. You don't get a lawyer, quick and fast. Quick and fast. I don't know what can happen, but get a lawyer. Cool? Okay.
Look here. Say, if you know Mr. Donald Trump, please send this message to him. Him banning Jamaican ban on the 75 list of people when if you come at this country. Mr. Trump, you're wrong. Nobody no come America and work hard like we Jamaican. We come here and we work and we pay with taxes. We have we house, we got we kids them, we raise we kids them. Nobody no bossy like we no Mr. Trump. We work hard, 2, 3, 4 job. Mr. Trump, and you freeze the people them. Nobody else can come here. We in a high tax bracket in America, Mr. We work, Mr. Trump. Me know you have your thing a go on with immigrants. But Mr. Trump, we work, we help them build America, We work more than the people them we born here. We come here, we get visa. Mr. Trump, you wrong. We work hard. You know why we work so hard? Because we Jamaican want bossy people, We no beg, we no borrow, We always want lend. If you know Mr. Trump, send this message to him. Tell him if you take Jamaican off of the list because we don't come here and we are no squatters. We work very hard, Mr. Donald Trump, and you really hurt me, Mr. Trump. Jamaica need a break, Mr. Trump. Make them come. All the kids them with upon the visa, we are working at the hotel, the student them, the farm worker them, Mr. Trump. Don't do this to Jamaican, Mr. Trump. Send it to him, Mr. Trump. We work hard. Mr. Trump, we work very hard. Please, Mr. Trump. Dear God, please touch Mr. Trump hard so he can release Jamaican from the list. We don't deserve this, Mr. Trump. Please.
The United States has decided to freeze all visa processing for
up to 75 countries. Now, what does this mean? And a lot of people have been asking me, what does this mean? What is this? What are they talking about? Now, let's talk about immigrant visas. Those who are coming here into the US to be residents, those visas will be paused as of January 21st, 2026, so that they can look more into these applications. There will be deeper scrutiny into these applications to prevent those who might come to the US and public charge, which means that they might come here to use government benefits for any condition that they may have. Now, this is not anything new. We have heard it before. This was announced back in November 2025. However, they have just released a date when they will start this. So what they are going to take into consideration includes the health, the age, the finances, the English proficiency, that's how well you can speak English or write English, and also the need for long-term care. So back in November when they spoke about it first, we all heard them talking about if you have diabetes, if you have cancer, if you have hypertension, if you have any of those diseases that require long-term and ongoing care, then they may deny you if you are fat. If you're obese, of course, you're prone to a lot of other things happening in the body. They need care or long-term care. So on that basis, they're saying, you know, you're going to come here and you're going to be a strain to the welfare system. And that's what they're trying to eradicate. No, I don't want you to get alarmed. This is not about visas on a whole, like non-immigrant visas, not your visitors visas, not your student visas. This is about immigrant visas. So take that into consideration and don't get scared. Again, if you still need to do your petitions, go ahead and do so. We'll see the outcome of this change. Now, Jamaica is one of those 75 countries that is included in this announcement. There are a lot of countries, Somalia, Russia, Iran, some of these countries are already on the banned list of countries that are not taking any form of visas, but now they're also adding immigrant visas to these. So Jamaica is one of those countries that are included, that they are going to be scrutinizing the applicants who are being petitioned for. Check back for more details on this or further updates as they come.
My side, me mama bomba clat, trouble in I camp, you know. Trouble in I camp to mama bomba ass clat. Me tell you know, how me want the people them, you know. How me bomba clat tell you know. But anyway, let me tell you this. You see, this video is for entertainment purpose only. This video is for entertainment purpose only. Again, this video is for entertainment purpose. Bomba clat trouble in I camp. Trouble in a bomber clad camp. Nobody no tell me nothing. Hey, you see, anybody will come over here and tell me, but me no want to tell me nothing. I'm a bomber ass clad here, man. Hey, me vex now. Me no vex, me vex. Me vex. Me vex. Me vex, me vex. Me no know which one the bomber clad do right now. Me vex and me bend. Me no bend. A woman alone bend. 6:30 gal. You must see mad. Me no bend. You must see bomber clad. Me no bend. Me no bend. Why? Why? Me a Gaza, me say, me no bend. You must see blood clad. Me straight like a arrow. No bend, no, no. Anyway, when you see this person, me bomber ass clad. Trouble in a camp. You no come here. Trouble there. Me bomber clad. God help we. Can somebody tell me what kind of news this I heard? Uno hear when me hear? Uno no bumbleclaw here say? No visa from Jamaica. Where the bumbleclaw go on? How we really go on? In a less than not even 12 hours to mama bomber ass clad and we not no visa. Jamaica. Where we really get ourselves into? Where the mama bomber clad? Where is the Jamaica? No. Why? What? Jesus. I said, you know, so me kind of feel like say, a big thing I come America this year. Yes, me not talk it.
I show the big thing. Wanna tell me in the comment section if you don't know what me talking about. I show the big thing I come to America this year. Them I use style. I craft them I use. Them a craft man. I craft them I use. I white people them. Nobody feel like. We soon get back. We do it soon again. Jamaica no worry. Remember me telling you in America me live, you know. Yeah. No worry. Visa will be coming 2027. All visa okay for Jamaica. Jamaica can get visa easy, but it's a cost a process. Here, catch you a Donald Trump in power. Yes, it's going to take a process for us to get visa, but it will be open after. Now, September, all door open, man. September, everything open. Jamaica, no bother fret. Yeah? Me I tell you no from now. No bother get fret. No, remember. In just suspended for a while. Meaning suspended mean it will be reinstated back. You know when a license suspend, and you have to go up there and get it clarified. Well, this you don't have to get it clarified. Him just decide say, you know what, he must suspend it and they have to wait for him, and when him say uno go ahead. So listen now, Jamaica. Nobody get panic and nobody feel no way. Listen, I show that big thing there come here, man. I show the big thing I come up. Remember, we share with them now. 2026. At 2026. Yeah, man. Remember the big thing where I come here. Nobody worry, no. Remember, Pepper can't tell you, you know, say, we only get suspended for a little moment until the big thing pass. When the big thing come and finish and gone, yeah. Remember, you know, nobody can tell nobody say me out there tell visa, Jamaica visa to Bumbleclad. Jamaican them can't apply for no visa for the rest of when? We don't know. I say for the next 6 months to a year, no Bumbleclad visa for Jamaica. Me blood clap. I will not blame Andrew Holness. Nobody don't come tell me come blame Bumbleclad. Nobody blame Bro Hagino. Nobody blame Andrew Holness. Please do not blame the man. Andrew Holness did not do anything. He never get himself in on a problem. The man avoid problems, so do not blame Andrew Holness. And if America fi go for him pan allied other criminal activity them where him a do, with Jamaican people know him a do, America fi go get him pan those charges. But and pertaining to Venezuela, all those things, him good man, him good for me, him good man, him pass the test man, him good man, him clear man, him good man. Him America good. America not no problem with Sir Andrew Holness with this one. Cause I never have nothing to say. Him just sit down like a real puppet and just go and take program. So that good for him. Anyway, Jamaica, no bother panic too much, man. It will be coming back very not soon, but it will coming back. Alright? Yes.
So as we know, the U.S. State Department has announced that there will be a pause on immigration visa processing. This will take effect January 21st, 2026. The individuals who are mainly affected by this are individuals who are outside of the United States, from my understanding. For example, employment-based visas, family-based immigration visas are the ones who would be affected outside of the United States. And the ones who may not be affected are green card holders, H-1B, student visas, and stuff like that would not be. Non-immigrant visas would not be affected, and individuals that are in the U.S. If you feel like you are affected by this, I would definitely give you the option of reaching out to your attorney or your immigration lawyer so that they could give you your options on what you need to do next. Now, this is due to the charge rule that the government stated. Basically, this is how they review immigrants and how or if they will need government assistance in the future. I would say if you do have a pending case, just get your finances together. Gather all the documents that you can about your finances. If you're working, if you have 1 job, 2 jobs, just get your finances in order to prove that you know, have a strong case and that you won't need assistance in the future. They don't have much information on this. This is just my opinion on everything. They have not stated when they will lift the pause or anything like that. But I would just say just seek your options through your immigration lawyer and your updates.
Jamaica is now on the travel ban list. all the 75 countries, they add Jamaica on the travel ban list. Why am I so emotional? Guys, I just got a call. Just get a call. I'm literally getting ready to go live. But just get a call that they add Jamaica on the travel ban list. You know, they've been banning countries like crazy. Now, us Jamaicans are on the list, right? Which we were talking about this morning, but I'm not going at that. No, what you must understand, if you're here in the United States, you're married to your US citizen, you're still going to file your adjustment of status. This don't affect you. If you're here in the US, you're married to a citizen, you go ahead and file your papers. That's not what's going on right now. Who is this going to affect? Your parents, your kids, your spouse in Jamaica who have to go through the consular processing. So persons who have a B1, B2 visa, this not affect you. Still fly in, still go back home. Persons who are being filed for, petition for, meaning your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your child, your spouse who is a citizen or a green card holder who are filed for you while you remain in Jamaica, you will be affected. It's all about the whole public charge rule, where public charge is someone them say, all right, don't come here, take them food stamp, them health insurance, whoever sponsor you, they are the ones who are supposed to foot the bill, not the system here. So they put it on pause until they figure out what they're going to do. So again, if you're here in the United States and you are married to your spouse here in the United States, go ahead and file your adjustment of status same way. But you mommy who's filing for your child back home, you daddy who's filing for your child back home, you husband or wifey who's filing for your husband and wifey back home, your case will be on pause. It will be put to the side. They don't care if you're at the NVC stage now, you upload a document, your document qualify, waiting for an interview. It's just going to put on hold. Now, there are procedures that you must follow, right, to still stay relevant. So if you're at the NVC stage and they open the portal, still go ahead and upload your documents. Guys, we're on the list. They put us on the list. I don't know what else to tell you. We're still, trying to see what's what. But all I can say, persons who are in the country, you can still file for your green card. January the 21st. It starts.
Welcome back, guys. Now that you have watched the videos, let's talk about the why. The government is calling this a pause to prevent people from becoming a public charge. For those who don't know, a public charge is a legal term for someone who is likely to become primarily dependent on the government for subsistence. But here's the kicker. Under the current US law, most immigrants are not even eligible for federal benefits like SNAP or Medicaid for the first 5 years anyway. So why the blanket freeze? The administration is essentially saying that they don't trust the current vetting system to catch who might be struggling financially. They are moving away from looking at you as an individual, your bank account, your job, your offer, your sponsor, and they are looking at your nationality instead. If you are from one of the 75 listed countries, including Jamaica, the Bahamas, or Haiti, the assumption is now high risk until proven otherwise. In short, they are assuming that you are a high risk person. Interestingly, countries like Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, and Suriname were excluded, which shows there is a bit of diplomatic chess, a diplomatic chess game happening behind the scenes. For the Jamaican diaspora, this is a massive blow. We have one of the strongest work ethics in the world, and yet the narrative being used for this to pose is that immigrants are a burden on the welfare system. Research actually shows that immigrants from these regions often fill critical gaps in the US. This workplaces like healthcare services sectors, that's where we have most people working. In fact, people from these 75 countries make up nearly 10% of the US healthcare workforce. By posing these visas, the US is not just stopping families. They might be accidentally sabotaging their own hospitals and clinics. If you have a pending case, listen closely. This is an indefinite pause. There is no expiration date on this policy yet. Non-immigrant visas like B1, B2 tourist visas or the F1 student visa are technically still being processed. However, expect the public charge questioning to get way more intense. If you are going in for a tourist visa interview, I think you better have your bank statement and proof of ties to your home country ready, because they are looking at everyone's finances with a magnifying glass light now. So where do we go from here? If you are caught in this freeze, please do not panic and try to enter the US illegally, because that will ban you for life. Instead, use this time to strengthen your financial profile. If you have a joint sponsor in the US, make sure their taxes are 100% in order. The moment this review ends, the bar for financial self-sufficiency is going to be much higher than it was in 2025. This feels like a dark time for the legal immigration, but knowledge is power. We are going to keep watching the courts, because you can bet there will be legal challenges to this. If you are watching this and your heart is sinking because your interview was scheduled for next month, here is a strategy that I think could work. Don't cancel your interview. If they had offered you a date, go. Get your approved status on record, even if your visa is not printed yet. You want to be the first in line the moment this pause is lifted. Also, over-prepare your finances. The new 2026 standard for the self-sufficiency is much higher. You are supposed to bring 12 months of bank statements, not just 3. If your US sponsor has a shaky tax history, find a joint sponsor now. This pose is a blow to the Jamaican diaspora and beyond, but it is not the end of the road. We are already seeing legal challenges being filed in the DC to stop this nationality-based ban. Courts will eventually have a say, but for now, we have to play the long game. What's your take? Do you think the US has the right to pause the legal immigration to protect the welfare of the system? Or is this an unfair attack on specific nations? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Stay strong and I'll see you on the next update.